Okay, so we've got a power steering, the Reservoir for a C55, pretty much the same on the E55. New seal goes in here, the rubber hose goes on there. This is goes on the M112 and the M113 motors. So we'll be putting that in today. Okay, so this is the fluid we're using. Here's your specification that you need, the C55 It's the proper stuff for your AMG. Okay, so we've got the car up on some ramps and we're going to take the bottom cover off. Okay, so we need to get rid of this cover, get this cover off, and then we can drain the power fluid steering on a hose down this end, which I'll show you how to do. Okay, this is the power steering hose. You can see it runs right around here, comes around here. Right, now this clip can just spread. You can just spread this clip, slide it over this way, and then this hose should just pull out. There is an O-ring in here which is reusable so long as you don't damage it. Okay. Okay, and then just let all the fluid drain out. Take the cap off the reservoir, it'll help. Okay, so these clips we've got to get off. This hose still feels good, so I'll reuse this. You can just suck the power steering fluid with a syringe out of the top, but that won't get all of it out. It'll only get what's in there out, which may still leak when you undo the clip down here. So we'll get that done as well. Okay, the old fluid looks pretty clean, so it doesn't look like we've got too many problems going on there. When you put your hose back on, just make sure you use some clean paper towels just to give it a wipe, and then clean off. So I've just given it a wipe with a paper towel. I'm just going to give it a bit of a clean off with some degreaser, just in case it does start leaking. We'll be able to pick it up and just clean up any excess there. Okay, so there's a clip down here that you need to be able to clip off, and then there is a little bolt right here, so we're just going to move this over, unclip it from here, unclip this from here, and then we'll be able to move the hose out of the way a bit and get a spanner or a socket down there. Okay, so we just got a screwdriver into there, and then we just clip it over and it just unclips from here. So that should be the hose off. So we've got the bolt out of there, out of that hole there. Just put some rags down here, so when we try to get this clip off, if it pops off, hopefully we can catch in it without it disappearing somewhere down there. Okay, so it just slides on this bracket here, it gets a little bit caught up, so you need to just slide it right over. Here's our seal, which we're going to just give that a bit of a clean up and get the old seal off, put the new seal on and put the new reservoir in. Okay, so that's how we get these clips off. Just get a screwdriver in here, and it just unclips. Alright. Okay, so we've got the reservoir off. Here's the clip. All you do is you get a screwdriver, put it in there and just twist it until it pops out like that. Okay, that's all you need to do. A little bit easier, big screwdriver, a little bit easier with the air filter off. Okay, the old seal's still nice and soft. Can't see any cracks in it. So it looks in pretty good condition. But we've got a new one anyway, so we'll just put the new one on. But that's probably done 125,000 Ks, so it looks all good. Okay, so just put a little bit of power steering fluid on the seal, just give it a little bit of lube. And then same when you put your tank in, just put a little bit of, rub a little bit in there with a clean finger, just lube that, helps it slide on a little bit better. Right, so that's the new one in. Just got to make sure you push it all the way up. It is quite tight when the with the new seal in that there. So it does take a bit of force, and then we'll get that bolt in and we'll get the hose back on, and then we can fill it back up. Looks all good. Let's get that clip back in. Okay, so I've just got a pair of nail pinchers which I'm just going to put on, and then you can squeeze this up and reuse the clips. So there we have it, the clips are back on. They're clipped on nice and tight. Time to fill up the oil. Okay, so I've just filled it. I've just filled it right up to the top there, because when I start this engine up, which I'm only going to do for a short period of time, just to turn it over, it will certainly suck all that back down. Okay, there'll be a lot of air in the system, so we don't want to run the engine for too long. We just want to turn it over very quickly and then check the level again. Right, so that is basically half empty now. So we might just do one more. Okay, a second quick start. That was half gone. Okay, so you can see some air in there. There's still plenty of fluid in there. Still plenty of fluid to go into the pump. We'll just check the level now. And as you can see, it's not on the dipstick, so we'll put a bit more fluid in. Okay, so we topped it up again to the higher level on the dipstick. We've run it 3 times now, so now it's time to get it off the stands and do a steering turn and go from full lock to get all the air out, and then check it again. Okay, we've just filled it right up to the hot level, high hot level. Don't worry about overfilling it. You can always use a syringe to take some of the fluid out if you overfill. What we're going to do now is I've got it off the ramps, and we're going to go full lock right, full lock left, full lock right, full lock left a couple of times, and then we'll check the level, and then we'll go for a drive and just make sure we get all the air out of the system. Okay, so the levels dropped from the high point down to about here after doing full lock. So it does create a little bit of a drop in there, but not too much. So now I'm going to go for a road test drive.